Well, it's a snowy Saturday afternoon, about 20 degrees. I'm not going anywhere. I've been sitting on this for a few months now. Got it rather cheap on eBay. It is a reproduction Sturmansky. Look at the date font. You can see that it's rather new. Just looking at this, you can tell it's new. Has a rotating bezel with no loom, just a printed dial or a bezel. The back end is single piece, doesn't have the back with the ring. The whole back screws down. Number 709 of 999. I doubt it. There's probably thousands of these. Well, anyway, I got this rather cheap because you can't wind it. But what I mean is, you could wind it up and then let go of the stem, and it unwinds. So we have a problem with the click spring, or something else. I don't know. It is, and it also has no serial number, no stamping on that bridge, nothing on the balance. It does have the Poljot stamp down there on the lower left. So the click you can't get to because of the chrono mechanism. This is my first time taking a 3133 apart. So let's see, let's focus, get in a better shot here. Let's see what we can do here. Let's find out what's wrong with this. I did wind the mainspring by holding onto it to see if the spring is good. It is in fact good because I can wind it up to the stop. Now obviously I'd like to look at things in a logical way. How do you build something? How do you take it apart? So the first thing is you start at the top, and the uppermost part is going to be this bridge for the chrono hands. So let's take those off first. They're jeweled right here and here. A single screw, and it should lift off easily. I don't know. Like I said, this is my first time tinkering with one of these. Can't imagine it being that difficult. There's our resetting hand. I'm going to push that so they're out of the way. They're not resting on the chrono hand, the chrono wheels right here and right there. Now obviously the next thing I'm going to do, well, obvious for me, I'm going to take this lever off. Looks like everything is just stacked on there. So let's see what happens when we do that. I don't know of any springs that we got to contend with. There's probably a couple, because these levers are spring loaded. Okay. I like to use my good tweezers for just picking up stuff, but if I need something that's got some pressure on it, I'm going to use something a little cheaper. Okay, that lever just came off nice and easy. Alright, we have a spring here. Don't ask me these parts. I don't know. I just know where they're going to go. This looks like a mounting screw. Over here, underneath that lever, we have what looks like a mounting screw also. Now, can we take... we're going to have to take that lever out, which is probably connected to this one. There you go. That one here. And it looks like this bridge, I'm going to call it a chrono bridge, runs all the way around to this point with all of this mechanism attached. There's a jewel here for a wheel. Will that wheel be contained, or will it fall out? I don't know. I just want to take things apart and see how they work. If you notice, this screw has 3 slots built into it. It is an opposite hand screw. We're going to tighten it to get it loose. Opposite hand, that was an old machining and welding term. A lot of times you'd get a set of blueprints to build something, and it was one part the way that it was printed, and then a second part that said opposite hand. you build everything exactly opposite, like you were looking through the blueprints on the other side. So is that an accurate term? I don't think so, but that's what I called it. So that lever is connected, part of this button, this pusher, and it is spring loaded. So there's a spring under there somewhere. Let's find out what happens when I go to remove this. Okay, I did hold on to it, as you saw. Didn't go flying. Okay, well, that was uneventful. And there we go. There's a spring. Looks like just a piece of wire connected to, goes in between that pusher button and the lever. So that's probably connected to this, and that's connected to that, but this is on the main body of the movement. This is on the bridge. So let's get that out of the way. That might be a problem. I might be able to take it off as one piece. I don't know, but logic tells me when they're connected like that in some way, I do not want to take it apart when there are two pieces. So probably the same system as that wire. That wire probably comes around here as one piece, and there's probably another one here on that spring. So there we go. Pop it loose. See what happens. Oh, look at this. Everything is one piece on this because it is moving together. Okay. Looks like. Alright. Okay. Look what we have here. This. Let's get a better shot. This portion of the spring, or of the plate, is milled out, and it appears, let's get in tight on that part of this lever, that this portion fits into that right in here. And this lever is, there's a lever here, there's another lever, and then there's a spring to keep that actuation. You can see up, and look what happens. Okay, so when we put this together, that spring has to be reset to open the gap up so we can install that. Okay, live and learn. You learn something as you go. Okay, now I don't see anything preventing us from removing any more other than that bridge. So let's focus that and see what's doing. I have the movement mounted. It's still in the case, into a case holder. Let's focus. There must be a little bit of energy left in that mainspring because that balance is still ticking. Okay, got those two screws loose. I got many screws loose, don't I? Yes, I do. Let's take this rubber O-ring out. That's got a little dust on it. We're going to clean that. Okay, here's our one screw on that chrono bridge. I'll call it a chrono bridge because it's housing some chrono parts. Okay. A few things about this chrono that I have observed and read online. This screw here is an adjuster. It's an eccentric. You can just keep turning that and turning that. It's not going to do anything other than adjust that lever. And I believe there's 4 of those. There's one here as well, and there's one down here. These are all adjusters. If everything's working good, don't change those adjusters. You don't have to really do much with them, I don't think, until you get everything together for adjusting. So we got 1, 2, 3. There might be a 4th one. I don't quite remember where I saw that on the F10 board, but I think somebody had posted how to adjust these levers. Okay, let's see what happens here. I'm just going to lift that movement or bridge. Looks like it popped loose already. And if you notice, this little wheel is captured within that bridge because it moved with it, and it's underneath this, probably the chrono wheel. So we're gonna just gingerly take that out There we go. Gingerly enough. Look at that. Easy enough. Okay, look at that. We're in here pretty good, pretty deep. And trying to get my oh, Daisy, calm down. Daisy, hold on a minute. Enough. Shh. Enough. Shh. Daisy, calm down. My dog's having a fit. The mailman showed up. Trixie. Shh. My Daisy and my Trixie. Alright. I don't know if this is coming in. There's a shot of that click. And when I wind it, there's no movement in the click, and that brown stuff looks like rust. So that wheel, that ratchet wheel, isn't engaging the click, and it looks like rust. So there's our problem. Fairly new watch, probably got a little moisture in it. Probably won't need a full service. Just service the click. At least that's what I'm going to do. And we have the screw on the click. I don't know how tight it's going to be. The screw may be rusted in. I don't know. Alright, let's get a better shot of that. Okay. Well, doesn't appear to be rusted on. It is coming loose. Okay. Okay, there's the screw. Now, there is a spring under that, and I'm going to hold on to it. Keep that from flying apart. If there's just a little bit of rust buildup, that could keep things from working. If there's a broken spring, we're going to have to source a spring somewhere. The click appears to be in good shape. Okay. I'm going to give you a close-up of that click. A real good close-up. I can zoom in pretty good. Look at that rust. I'm zoomed in as tight as I can get it. There's rust. You can see it build up. On the back side of this click is a pin, and that pin is going to engage what looks like there's a spring right underneath that ratchet wheel. Click. You can see it right there, dead center. Let's see if that moves. I'm going to have to get out of the shot here. Yep. The spring is good. And I think all we need to do is remove the rust off of that click, test it, and put this together and give it a check. So we're going to do that in our next round. So stay tuned.